Our time right now is 8:05, and New Jersey, long considered a Democratic stronghold, might be America's newest swing state. With the 2026 midterms on the horizon, Republican congressional candidate Billy Prempeh is making waves in his bid to flip New Jersey's 9th district red for the first time in decades. Prempeh, a U.S. Air Force veteran and Paterson native, joins us now to discuss his campaign and why he believes New Jersey is ripe for a political transformation. Thanks for being with us, Billy. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ken. Thank you for having me.
You bet. And you've said that New Jersey could be the next big swing state. What is driving that shift? Do you think it's the voter sentiment, policy frustrations, or do you think there's something else?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Over the past 8 years, life has gotten a lot more expensive in the state of New Jersey. And if you were to focus on what's going on at a federal level, people are starting to see that our government has been spending money recklessly. They're pushing for policies that no one necessarily agrees with. And I think that's where the issue is coming in with this race here in the district. So as I've been running, we've been able to significantly close the gap and get several people to vote Republican, many of which who have not done so in a long time, a lot with the frustration of the previous Biden administration. And unfortunately, there was also a power vacuum after the passing of the late Congressman Bill Pascrell. The messages that I've been pushing to our community have been very simple. Our generation, the next generation, will be one of the first generations to inherit a country that is much worse left off than previous generations have had it. And it's getting harder and harder for the average American to start a family or even consider buying a home for the future. And the policies that I'm pushing for is ways to fix our education system, bring new trade programs in, because our country is short hundreds of thousands of workers in these trade sectors. So I'm creating programs like the Freedom of Education Plan to help facilitate bringing trade programs back into our schools and push for incentives to actually invest in our communities. The current Congresswoman seems to be just voting in line with whatever the party has told her or whatever her donors seem to want. Doing things such as voting against keeping women or keeping men out of women's sports, or even voting against the Lake and Riley Act that would have pushed out people that were in our country illegally that have harmed American citizens. It seems that whenever there's something that the conservatives or most Americans seem to want, she's going against that. And if they continue to do this, which I think she probably will end up doing, I think that we have an opportunity to put forth a policy that can make our country move forward as opposed to just towing an ideological line.
And Billy, you've run for the seat before, but each time you narrowed the gap more and more. And we know that, like Passaic County, for instance, voted for Trump this time around, something that no one thought would ever happen. Passaic County voted for Trump. The city of Paterson did not, but the city of Paterson really closed the gap a lot. So that's really close striking distance. And you came within striking distance in 2024. What is the difference about your 2026 campaign, you think, that makes you confident that you could flip the 9th district red this time out?
Well, with 2024, the Democratic Party didn't really have much of a choice in selecting who they wanted to represent them. The party essentially chose Nellie Poe to represent them. A lot of people were completely unfamiliar with her policies and what she stood for. And a lot of people that were loyal to Bill Pascrell didn't really have much of a home as to who they wanted to choose and vote this year. But now that we're only less than 2 months into the Trump presidency, and we see what the current Congresswoman stands for, we can see that we're more of the same exact stuff that we had last time, except a little bit more radical. The messaging that we're doing is going to be consistent. We're going to continue to show up in areas that traditionally Republicans don't show up in, and we're going to continue to knock doors, make the phone calls, and push our policies forward in the same way that we've been doing for the past 4 years. I believe that the message that we're pushing is consistent with the needs that America wants at this current time. And it's just a matter of meeting people where they are and getting our messages to the forefront and representing them in Washington, D.C. to the best of my ability.
You know, Billy, when you look at the districts in the state of New Jersey, you know that the very corrupt Democrat machine in Trenton created the districts and carved them out. It is so blatantly obvious. It's like, okay, let's make sure that we always have a Democrat here, and we always have a Democrat. I mean, it's a game that they love to play. But, I guess Republicans have done it in certain states too, but Democrats don't even try to mask it. They just say, this is what we're going to do. Your district, the 9th district, includes very diverse communities. So you have Paterson, which of course has been financially challenged for years. And then you get parts of Bergen and Hudson counties too. What issues are voters telling you matter most to them? Because you have people who have all sorts of different things that matter depending on which county you're in.
So one of the good things that I like about our district is it gives a very wide understanding of what I believe represents a lot of the state of New Jersey. We have very affluent areas such as Franklin Lakes, inner cities like Paterson and the city of Passaic. And universally, one of the biggest issues in 2024 that I believe the Democratic Party significantly overlooked was the immigration problem. If you look at Passaic, for example, while I won the larger portion of the district in Bergen County and in some parts of Passaic, President Trump did exceptionally well in the city of Passaic. And the reason why that was when we were working with a lot of people in the community and listening to their opinions, what's on their mind, they're sick and tired of the illegal immigration in our country. And while Democrats look at it as a noble thing to keep people in our nation that don't respect our laws, a lot of people like my family and other immigrant families that have come to the United States the right way, legally, to start their businesses and start a new life, they're not very appreciative of the Democratic Party consistently pushing to support illegals in their city. Paterson, for example, has become a sanctuary city. The violent crime has only gotten worse, and it's started to become very overcrowded. People don't like the fact that they're paying lots of money in their taxes and they're getting a subpar quality of education, which is another one of the reasons why I agree with the president getting rid of the Department of Education. I think that our education system should be a lot more localized, and there should be a focus on the needs of the parents and not so much the agendas of what Washington, D.C. or Trenton wants. And these are policies that resonate across the board. And I believe that if we continue to do this, we'll be able to close that gap and get that additional 4% that's necessary to win this election in 2026. And I'm very excited about it. And I think that I've got one of the greatest shots that this district and our state's had in a very long time. We're currently on the NRCC watch list. Right. And so we're currently on the watch list.
Yeah,
and I believe
you talked about that. I see that. I didn't mean to step on you, only because I see we're running out of time. I want to get a couple of things in before I lose you. But as you mentioned, the National Republican Congressional Committee, the NRCC, they targeted the district as a top pickup opportunity for 2026. So getting that national attention, does that impact how you shape your strategy and the role that you see President Trump's, and not former President Trump's, President Trump's influence in playing in your race? Do you think that Trump would come and campaign for you?
I think Trump, and listen, I've also I made a statement on social media where I said, how great would it be if we can get President Trump to Hinchcliffe Stadium in Paterson? And it's just, a little bit tongue in cheek, but it would be an incredible thing. And I think it'll be very beneficial, not just for the race in the 9th district, but also to help foster conversations and create an opportunity for people across the aisle to hear some new policies as well, too. So I'm excited about it.
And to skeptics who say flipping your district red is a long shot, what would you like to tell them?
They've been saying that to me since 2020. They've been saying that in 2022. But the truth is, none of them have knocked the doors. A lot of them have not actually went into different parts of our community and seen that the sentiment is actually quite the opposite. In fact, in 2024, there were a ton of Democrats that came our way and decided to vote for President Trump, many of which who just felt disenfranchised by the party. And I've been saying this for a while. People are frustrated. They're just not motivated to come out and vote. And bit by bit, you can consistently see that with our grassroots effort, people have been able to come out more and more, and they're not ashamed and afraid to state what's on their mind and question more from their government. And I intend to continue to push that same narrative and get people more publicly involved in their election process.
Billy, we got about 30 seconds left. Talk about your Revive America plan.
The Revive America plan is, as you can see in the state of New Jersey, potholes are a tremendous issue. There's a issue that I believe this is in Avenue. I saw this not too long ago on the show. What the Revive America plan would do is it would create tax incentives for businesses that decide to open up factories in the United States, areas that were predominantly manufacturing powerhouses in the past. For example, Paterson, Newark, Canton, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, these types of areas that business has been abandoned. What the Revive America plan would do is it would give tax incentives to business owners that decide to rehabilitate old factories and bring these companies back or implement new industries. And they'll receive tax breaks for hiring people within the community or within the county that the factory resides in to help stimulate the economy as well as add for more job opportunities. This would also allow for tax incentives to go back into our states and allow them to invest into infrastructure and repairs that our country desperately needs. And I think that when partnered with the Freedom of Education Plan, people will be able to learn different trades and skills that our country is absolutely in need of. We're short about 500,000 electrical workers, for example, that we're going to need to fill between now and the year 2036. And I think that these two policies would help, especially a lot of people in the inner city that are not only in desperate need of jobs, but opportunity as well.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. Stop talking your logic. You and your logic. It's crazy. We tell every kid, go to college, and incur $300,000 in debt and get your degree in female lesbian studies from Lithuania, which will get you nothing in life, as opposed to becoming an electrician or a plumber, and you could graduate college or graduate trade school, I should say, with zero in debt and start off your first year making 200,000. What would you rather do? It's so logical.
You hit the
Billy
nail on the
Prempeh
head.
running for Congress. Yeah, give us your website because we're out of time right now, but I want everyone to have your website.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Logic is what's going to get us to win this party. And for anyone else that wants to learn more about the Freedom of Education Plan as well as the rest of my policies, you can go to www.billyprempeh.com to learn more.
All right, and it's Billy, Prempeh, billyprempeh.com. So make sure you go there. Thank you so much. Congressional candidate, Republican, Billy Prempeh from New Jersey's 9th Congressional District. Thank you for joining us. Come back anytime. It's good to have you on.
God bless you, Ken. Take care.
You as well. God bless you.